and welcome to the Football for Kids podcast with me, Darren Rees. This is a Patreon-only episode on the brilliant, the fierce and fiery Frenchman, Eric Cantona. Make sure that you vote on the poll for next week's Patreon-only episode. 1966 was a significant year for football. Well, it was for English football fans anyway. But it was also a significant year because one of the most talented and charismatic footballers of all time was born. And that, of course, was Eric Daniel Pierre Cantona, who was born in Marseille in France on the 24th of May 1966. Eric's mum was actually from Barcelona in Spain, and she was a dressmaker. Eric's dad was a nurse and a very talented artist. Eric came from parents who were hard workers and very creative. And my goodness, was Eric creative when he laced up a pair of football boots. It's said that Eric's father was a keen footballing man, and he himself played in local French sides as a goalkeeper. He would spend time with Eric teaching him the basics, and Eric became completely mesmerised by the game and the style of play. So much so that he would play relentlessly for hours and hours at every moment of every single day. It's also said that Eric tried out being a goalkeeper when he first started playing for a local French side, but he more liked the idea of being out there on the pitch and being an outfield player. Eric went to watch Marseille with his father when he was around 6 years old, and he sat very close to the pitch. He'd played football with his dad, he'd played football with his brothers and used scrunched up bits of newspaper pretending they were footballs and using items in his house as goalposts. But now he was in an enormous football stadium with deafening noise and the atmosphere of a coliseum. It was then that it's thought that Eric really fell in love with football. One of the players who was a massive influence on Eric Cantona when he was younger was the truly incredible Dutchman Johan Cruyff. His slick skills and smooth movements floating around the pitch had Eric transfixed. One of the clubs that Eric played for when he was a youth player was Auxerre, a beautiful place southeast of Paris. Eric spent around a couple of years in their youth team before making his senior debut in November of 1983 at around 17 years old. However, in the following year, his footballing career had to go on hold for a short period as he went off to do something called national service. National service in France is where people of a certain age had to go and do some work, which normally meant doing something in the military. However, it wasn't too long before Eric was back playing football, as in May of 1985 he scored his first goal for Auxerre. A huge moment for anyone, and I'm sure he has never forgotten it. One of the things which we'll get to learn about Eric Cantona is that he had a temper on him. He got in quite a lot of trouble, and he did a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have. When he was playing for Auxerre, he made a dangerous tackle, which was like a kung fu kick, injuring the opposition's player, getting him a 3-month ban from football. This is something that would come up again years later when he played for Manchester United. I'll tell you about that in a little while. By this point, Eric had already played in the France under-17 side, and coming up was the under-21 Euros. Eric's football ban was over, and he was able to play in the under-21 Euro tournament, where he was truly mesmerising, a bit like his idol, Johan Cruyff. Eric scored a hat-trick in the quarter-finals against England, and he and his teammates went on to win the whole tournament. After his performance in the Euro under-21 tournament, he was brought by